Good evening and welcome to September 9th, 2019 Valley View School District Board Meeting. Welcome and roll call of the board, please.
Member Carlson?
Here.
Member Campbell? Yes. Member Gilbo?
Present.
Member Perro?
Here.
Secretary Sikora?
Here.
Vice President Zach? Here. President Quigley?
Present. Where are we at? Oh, board affirmation statement. Member Perro.
Our mission is to empower all learners to be college and career ready and to develop, grow, and achieve as productive citizens.
Thank you. Agenda, Dr. Mitchum. Oh, we forgot the pledge. Hang on.
Let's get that done.
Member Campbell, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, Dr. Mitchum, the agenda, if you would, please.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to ask that the board approve the agenda as presented.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Mr. Grisafi, Treasurer's Information Reports and Treasurer's Reports.
Action Report 5.1 is the monthly report with your financial reports, balance sheets, summary of revenue expenditures, also including the interim obligation payments and debt service payments for the months of August, totaling $5,756,101.29 for your consideration.
Second.
Motion seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
I have questions.
Oh, go ahead.
Gary, on 5.2, the schedule of bills. Oh, you only did 5.1. Okay. I do have a question on 5.1 as well. What is the criteria for one to be offered a cell phone that's paid for throughout the district?
Yeah, this goes back to E-rate funding that the district used to receive to help pay for any telecommunication services. The rules were changed about 3 or 4 years ago where E-rate would no longer subsidize any sort of telecom, and therefore the district would have to incur all those costs. And at the time, the district was providing cell phones as well as cell phone service for I think about 60 people throughout the district who the decision was, or the determination was that, you know, cell phones were a necessary part of the job. And so rather than taking that benefit away or paying for it in full, we came up with a calculation to determine what we felt was a fair subsidy, if you will, for people using personal cell phones for district business. And so that's what's in those reimbursements.
Are those monthly?
That would be quarterly.
That's a quarterly subsidy?
Correct.
And what's the criteria for the people that do get them?
Anybody that would use their phone in the course of their job throughout the day. So you've got technology, maintenance, administration.
Thank you.
Questions? Roll call vote would be in order.
Member Gilbo?
No.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Campbell? Yes. Member Carlson?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Action Report 5.2 is the monthly schedule of bills for the month of September. We've got 7 funds representing $5,397,966.41 for your approval.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion?
Okay, this is the one where I had a different question on. For this one, could you explain how the crossing guards work? How does all of that work?
The crossing guards originally were contracted with the village of Bolingbrook. A couple years back, they decided that they wanted out of the crossing guard business, and so we brought that to the board a few years back to say that we're going to be paying 25% per year of the cost associated with crossing guards until we're at 100% reimbursement, at which time we would be taking over the contract for crossing guards in the village of Bolingbrook.
So that cost is 25% of the total
I
cost?
think that's actually, I think we're at 75% this year. And that might be half. I'd have to, do you know what line that is?
No, not right offhand. I'm not sure.
I think we're in year 3. Here it is here, 216. Yeah.
216, Gary.
Yeah, I see it. 55,000. Yeah, I think that might be 75% of the cost.
So we pay that to Bolingbrook?
Correct.
And then what does Romeoville do?
Romeoville's covering that. We're going to have the same agreement with them beginning next year. In fact, we're going to take all of it over with Andy Frayne, who's their subcontractor. I think it'll just be easier rather than trying to manage 2 contracts, one with our own, a.k.a. Bolingbrook, and then having Romeoville do theirs. So we did meet with Romeoville Police Chief, and we're going to be doing something similar with an intergovernmental agreement that we'll be bringing to you probably here in the next few months.
So right now, there's no agreement with Romeoville. Romeoville just pays for it themselves?
Correct.
And then next year, we're going to pay for it through the,
We'll have a similar
School
agreement
district?
where we'll pay 25% a year for 4 years to try to ease into the contract cost.
okay, thank you.
And if there's no further discussion, a roll call vote would be in order.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Carlson?
Yes.
Member Campbell? Yes. Member Gilbo?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
You've got 5.3 summary of investments, property taxes received, 5.4 state funding update, 5.5, and all schools trust activity, 5.6 for information and questions, if any.
Any questions of Mr. Grisafi? Moving down the agenda, Mr. Grisafi. No. Nothing else? Okay. Thank you. Oh, shoot. Yeah, consent agenda. Dr. Mitchum.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to ask that the board approve consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.4. 6.1 board meeting minutes for 8/26/19. 6.2 executive session meeting minutes for 8/26/19. 6.3 student activity contract, Irene King Elementary School with Perfect Pastries. And 6.4 gifts to Kenneth L. Hermanson Elementary School, A. Vito Martinez Middle School, and Bolingbrook and Romeoville High Schools.
Motion?
So moved.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none.
I do again. I noticed on 6.3, the Irene King, the Perfect Pastries, the numbers on the contract don't really match with the second page of it. So I don't know if there's any way we could pull that one out until that's corrected, or if we have to leave it in and just vote on it together.
What are you asking? What numbers don't jive?
On the front of the contract, it says $11 per item, number of items to be sold 1,000, total anticipated cost 11,000. 4 times 1,000, they'll make 4,000. And then on the second page, it has if you sold 1,000 of them, you would have 44% profit, which would be what, about $4,400. So it doesn't really match with what the contract itself says. So I would think that we need to maybe fix that before we vote on that, just to make sure the contract is what they're promising.
The cost per item on the second page is $13 to $15, and on the first page it says it's $11.
On the first page is the retail cost per item. So if you look at the second page, that's what they would intend to sell it for per item.
But I don't think the numbers still match.
Does it imply we're buying it for $11 and selling it for $14 so that we make a profit? So that first
Yeah, but
one
if you
is wholesale.
if you sell 1,000, you're going to make 44%.
The number's off by $400, so honestly, I didn't catch that. They filled it out incorrectly when they did the math. It should say 4,400 instead of 4,000. I think this is currently going on. It began on the 3rd of September, and it's going through the end of the month. So
So does this substantially change the operational aspect of this, or
Not
will
at
just
all,
come back?
not
in?
at all.
So we can- go
I'll
ahead.
certainly get a clarification as to what the numbers should say and send
Okay.
that out to the whole board.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Sure.
So we have a motion, we have a second. Roll call vote, please.
Member Carlson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Gilbo?
No.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
No.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Pillars of Valley View, student and staff recognition. I don't have anything up. Oh, I do, here it comes. Woodview Elementary School, come on down. Member Campbell is on her way up.
Good evening, Valley View School Board, President Quigley and Dr. Mitchum. I am Jessica McCaslin. I'm the principal of Woodview Elementary, alongside Robert Israelson, our assistant principal. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to introduce these amazing women. It is with the utmost respect and privilege that we recognize our social worker, Melanie Allred, and our school psychologist, Nikki Gianelli, as well as Catherine Deere, our learning environment coordinator, who's not able to be with us tonight due to a family emergency. These three powerful women are Woodview Elementary Student Services Support Team. These dedicated educators work diligently to provide supports that fulfill the whole child approach to learning, which truly embodies the first the heart, then the mind mentality. Putting social emotional learning at the forefront of our school, these ladies spearhead initiatives such as Hello Week that help capture the meaning of friendship and kindness, grade level morning meetings, interactive modeling stations, Playworks for structured recess opportunities, and school-wide mentoring, and consistently show our community why we are more than just a school. We are Woodview. Thank you.
While they're doing the photographs, there's a phrase, and it's in the, what they said, first the heart, then the mind. There's a phrase that goes something to this effect. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think those ladies embody that. So thank you very much. Good job, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks so much. Next on the agenda, Illinois High School Theater Fest All-State.
Good evening, Board of Education, senior leadership, colleagues. My name is Dr. Jason Peskiewicz. I'm the proud principal of Bolingbrook High School, and today I will introduce one of our leaders of our theater program, David Morrison. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Mitchum, our esteemed school board members, families, and guests that are here with us tonight. My name is David Morrison. I'm an English teacher at Bolingbrook High School and one of the school's head theater directors. I'm joined tonight by Mr. Robert Hannerhoff and Mr. Carl Rupsis, who are going to peek their head around and wave hello. Here to talk about this year 3 students that have been selected to this year's All-State Festival. So it brings a smile to my face, the immense pride that we get to share the story of our theater students and their continued ability to honor the Raiders again year after year. Here again, for the 4th year in a row, our students have been selected to the Illinois High School Theater Festival All-State production performed this year at Illinois State University this coming January. This year's production of Aida is a shining representation of this festival's theme, which is I Still Believe. The Illinois High School Theater Festival, now in its 45th year, is one of the oldest and certainly is the largest high school theater festival in the country, welcoming over 4,000 students into its walls each year from high schools all across the state. This year, my colleague Mark Wayne and I serve as executive committee members for this year's festival, and we've gained a new respect for the size and scope of this truly awesome event. After auditioning and interviewing against over 500 of the best theater students from across the state, we are so proud that senior Morgan Duderick, junior Aval Zaucha, and sophomore Grace Avery have been selected and cast in this prestigious company on the crew, in the orchestra, and in the cast, respectively. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking just a little bit about each of them. First off with Morgan Duderick. In her 4th and final year at BHS, and this year's Thespian Society president has been transformed through her experience in the theater. She, as one of our sound design specialists, has developed such an amazing skill set through her time in our program that it's not any surprise to us that she was a chief pick for the company. She's personally designed the sound effects and run the soundboard for an uncounted number of shows over the years, coordinated mic changes, diagnosed issues with the sound system while a production is going on, contributed to building a sound crew that 4 years ago had only 3 members and today boasts upwards of 10 or more. It's worth a special thank you to this school board, district and school administrators for helping to provide the tools for her to grow and develop, namely in the new sound system for the Roger and Pat Clare Family Auditorium. This district continues to provide the tools and guidance, and she's become a great leader and artist because of it. Now I'm going to call up Mr. Robert Hannerhoff to talk about Aval Zaucha.
Good evening. Aval began playing classical piano in 4th grade. By 7th grade, he fell in love with the improvisational style of blues and jazz and also began playing the bass guitar. Aval quickly expanded his musical vocabulary with jazz, both in piano and bass, and plays in both instruments in both the jazz bands as well as upcoming theater productions at BHS. Last year, he represented BHS when he was selected to be part of the ILMEA All-District Jazz Ensemble. And during his freshman and sophomore years, he earned a position as a jazz ambassador in the Jazz Institute of Chicago, as well as earning jazz scholarships to Western Illinois University as a sophomore. He has traveled both locally and internationally as a keyboardist for the Chicago Music Award winning blues band The Instinct, and is often hired as a keyboardist and bassist for other local jazz bands, blues bands, and ensembles. Aval's recently been accepted as a BHS member in the production of Aida at All-State. I will add that as the instrumental director and the director of jazz bands at Bolingbrook High School, Aval's a rare talent that challenges myself. Sometimes he plays a thing on the piano and I have to go back and say, hey man, show me how that went, right? So he's really, truly an asset to the program, both on keys and bass and composition. We're very proud of Aval.
Last but not least, Grace Avery, a sophomore in our program, is already making an incredibly strong mark. She brings a wealth of experience with her to our stage and into our loving theater community. Last year, her freshman year, she was cast as Lodovico in the 2018 fall production of Othello and was a principal ensemble member in the company's dance captain for the 2019 spring production of Jekyll and Hyde. This girl is unrelenting, and her energy is absolutely endless. Her dedication is felt throughout the entire program, in our main stage productions, in our A-Wing It improv team, and most recently in our thespian troupe, where Grace is our underclassmen ambassador, responsible for recruitment and retainment of new members, as well as outreach to the middle schools. However, it is her presence on stage that is most engaging. In addition to her performance in January for Theater Fest, she can be seen this November in the fall 2019 production of Lend Me a Tenor. Tickets are available October 1st. We are so excited to see her grace the stage. See what I did there? Grace the stage. Okay. At ISU this winter. I have to say this is an even more impressive feat for our students when they are selected amongst students from other programs that have full 4-year theater curriculums. And so for our students to persevere in that environment is truly a blessing. So a personal thank you again to this school board, Dr. Mitchum, district administrators, Dr. Pescavage, and BHS building administrators from us as the faculty for your continued support and investment in theater arts facilities and programs within the district. As the demand for skilled professionals in the entertainment industry grows, we're excited to help prepare students for that world, both in the collegiate realm and in the professional one. Please join me in congratulating Morgan Duderick of All Zoucha and Grace Avery for their selection to the 2020 Illinois High School Theater Festival All-State production of Aida. All right. First up, Morgan Duderick of All Zoucha and Grace Avery. Nice job, guys.
Mr. Zuka has mad skills. I've seen him play. Very impressive.
And if you ever hear the voice that was just speaking here on WBBM doing traffic, that would be our very own David Morrison.
Nice. I was going to say, you should, you have a voice for radio for sure. You should MC things too.
He does.
And if you don't, you know. Thanks so much. Thanks for what you guys do. Board liaison reports from my left.
On Tuesday, September 3rd, Member Gilbo and myself attended the calendar committee meeting. We discussed the calendar for the school year 2020-21. The calendar will be sent to the board at a later date for their approval.
Thank you. From my right, I just have one General Assembly report. As you know, the Illinois General Assembly passed a fully functioning budget for the first time in a couple years back in June. They also passed 599 other pieces of legislation, necessarily some related to the budget, some not. The governor has vetoed 8 of those pieces of legislation, and one of those 8 was an amendatory veto. So the General Assembly is scheduled to be in veto session the last week of October and the second week or first, I forget the dates of November, but scheduled for a total of 6 days of veto session, barring some great deals cut for other bills that didn't get passed. I don't personally see them spending 6 more days in Springfield. I think it may be a very abbreviated veto session. So that's all I have on that. Moving down the list, audience participation. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to address the board this evening? Seeing none, hearing none, moving down the agenda. Action reports. Dr. Mitchum, I see nothing.
No report.
Thank you. Ms. Kinder, other action reports, Assistant Superintendent report.
Yes, sir. Action Report 11.1, we are seeking approval for the adoption of a new course at the high school level, Mental Health and Stress Management for the 2020-2021 school year. Information was presented at the last board meeting by the 2 health educators who led the charge on the creation of this course, in direct response to not only data and national and local trends that we see, but also to direct voice from our student board liaisons. So we're very proud of the response and development and partnership that we have in moving forward with this very important topic.
So moved.
Motion and seconded. Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
I do. I I know whenever we create a new class, I always say this just because I think it's also important. I think this is a good class, and I think most of the classes that have been proposed as new classes are good classes. But again, I know we made cuts in other areas, and then we were told we didn't have money to create new classes in the FACS area, careers area, those types of things, and driver's ed, something that all students could use. I would like to see us take another look at those types of things as well. And then also, I do think this is a very good class. It's proposed to be an honors class. I definitely know that that's something that all kids could use. And I would like to see this not just be an honors class. I would like to see this be offered to all levels of students. Thanks.
It is available, and all students are able to take this. It's just honors waiting because of the level of work associated with the course, but it is accessible to all students.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I would like this for students that might not be able to handle an honors class to be able to have access to this type of
a standard rating.
Yeah,
That's
this
something
type
we
of
can certainly
material.
consider.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a motion, we have a second. No further discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Gilbo?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Carlson?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Moving down the agenda, Mr. Gazafi.
Nothing for me.
Thank you. Human Resources, Ms. Nash.
Thank you. Good evening. This evening we have Action Report 13.1, which is our consolidated action report for certified, classified, and classified personnel. This evening we are seeking your approval on 20 items for certified personnel, 40 items for classified personnel, 2 items for classified administrative personnel, and 3 items for certified administrative personnel.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Gilbo?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Carlson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Next up, job descriptions.
Yes, Action Report 13.2 is the presentation of 2 job descriptions for your approval. We have this evening the Director of Elementary Curriculum job description and the Assistant Director of Elementary Curriculum job description. We are requesting waiver of first read and recommending your approval this evening.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion?
I have a couple questions. One, is there a reason that we're foregoing the first reading, because we've asked several times not to do that?
At the last board meeting, I did give just an explanation as to why, and indicated at that point in time that I would be emailing the job description to all of you. I believe only Member Gilbo was not here,
She was the only one, yes.
right? But I did give that
So
explanation.
is this something that we're going to do immediately? Is that why we need to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Second of all, is this something that we're going to do at the 6-12 level? Are we going to be doing something similar to this?
No, that structure remains unchanged. And that's in direct response to just the difference in the educators that we serve and support. We're at elementary, they teach everything. We're at secondary level, we're departmentalized. So math teachers focus on math, and we have the expertise of a math director that supports those teachers specifically. Well, at elementary, we are needing to bring more cohesion to the educational programming because our elementary teachers teach everything.
And I understand that. I guess one of my questions would be, it seems as though our math scores did not go up that high at the elementary level, that maybe we do need someone specialized in math.
We do have team members that are specialized in math, that do have a very strong background in math, and so that's not going to be overlooked. We also need team members that have a strong background in literacy, so we still need technical expertise, but we do need one individual as a point person to help really streamline and bring together the programming, being that we are serving the same teachers and being that there's needs that we can better service our students.
Any other questions? Seeing none, hearing none. Motion second has been made. Roll call vote, please.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Carlson?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Gilbo?
No.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Superintendent information reports.
No report.
Legal services.
No report.
Thank you. AFT report. Thank you. Do you have a Valley View Council report? No report. Valley View Office Personnel Council report. No report. Thank you. Any old business before the board this evening? Any new business before the board this evening? Anybody who has comments on actions we have taken this evening? Seeing none, hearing none. Moving down the agenda. Any announcements by the board? From my right. From my left. Ms. Perro, push your button.
Yes, I just wanted to tell everyone to tune in to BCT, Bolingbrook Community Television, Channel 6 on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Mrs. Kinder and Dr. Mitchum will be doing the Bridging the Gap show with Mike.
Carpenzano.
No. Lawler,
Lawler,
I'm sorry,
Lawler,
with Mike
yeah.
Lawler. And they're going to be talking about our district and things that are going on. So tune in.
I have an announcement to make. I just want to say that a long time ago I was involved in the Bolingbrook Parade and the Romeoville Parade in different ways. And this Sunday we went out with Valley View and represented with some pom-poms and some banners and a little cheering, and it was a good time. So thank you, Bolingbrook, and congratulations on another year of the Village of Bolingbrook, and hope to see everybody on Sunday in Romeoville.
Any announcements by the administration?
Yes, just one. I want to echo Member Gilbo's sentiment concerning the Pathways Parade. I also want to send a special shout out to J.R. Tibbet and Independence, who had a significant number of staff staff at the parade. Special thanks to the transportation who provided buses and drove the kids, maintenance, and all others who were involved in that parade. It made it a very, very nice affair for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Did walk in that parade. It was a lot of fun. A little wet at the beginning, but we got through. So fortunately, the weather was nice. Any announcements by the public? Seeing none, hearing none. A motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved. Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Oh, well, you know what? I'll do it later. Never mind. Thank you. Motion to adjourn has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.